Hi. Despite the gameplay you're seeing right now, this is not an OPBR video, but about something much more important. The relevant videos are in the description and in my pinned comment. They're not too long, so watch them and come back to this video because I'll only briefly address them, and maybe show some screenshots. I'm not doing an intro, an outro, and all the stuff I usually do because it really doesn't matter right now. I'll just get started. Let me start off with something that's kind of more personal, at least looking at my Discord. As you can see right now, there are screenshots of DMs that were sent to me not too long ago, about 5 days ago. I do have to start off with saying that I do not want anyone harassed or attacked or anyone that I talk about in this video. Like, no name calling, no harassment, no nothing, I don't encourage that, but I do very much encourage pointing this stuff out, calling this stuff out, making sure people are held accountable for stuff like this. So with that said, I'm going to go to these screenshots. I'm going to read these screenshots. So yeah, it starts off just like any regular conversation that you start off with, You have this waving robot when you start off with, having someone on your friends list, and the chat starts off, just this weird thing that you could do where you could wave to the other person, and we did that. And then he started pinging me. I do not show these screenshots because they ultimately don't matter. What matters is what happens afterwards. And from what you could probably see at the bottom, you probably know what I'm talking about. So I'll just read them off. Why you ignore me for a month? It's been busy for me. Oh, I see. Are you busy at this moment? I'm not busy right now. Right. You down to do stuff? It depends. What stuff? Like that kind. I'm not interested in that sort of thing. Why not? Could you help me out? I can help if I can. What do you need help with? Tits to finish too. That is what corn is for, buddy. Nah, that doesn't feel the same. I need an average regular day person. I can help you with something PG-13, but I'm not showing anyone I barely know my melons. Wait, so if I knew you more, you would? I saw you in this person's stream. I'm not going to out that at all. This person is my friend, and they would not approve of any of this. Even if I knew you, I wouldn't show anyone that sort of thing online. Why not? It's helping someone else out, an act of kindness, and it takes 2 seconds. Hey, I get it. Just want to see some melons, but I told you no. Please stop bringing this up. And it's a typo. No as in you know something, but I do correct it and say just straight up no. You know what? You're right. I'm sorry if it seemed like I was pressuring you. However, with all due respect, cheesecake is ass. So basically a guy that wanted to do 18 plus stuff with me, a creep to be honest, and wanted to see my melons. So quite a conversation to have in a Discord, I guess. I wanted to start off with that just to point out how sometimes we might want to tell jokes, we might want to make certain comments, but stuff like this just isn't okay. It just isn't. I mean, it's not even my opinion. It should be just a fact. But, the reality is that some things like this are swept under the rug. Some things like this aren't taken as seriously as they should be, and it's disappointing, you know? Something like this situation that I'm going to be talking about is also like that, you know? There are people from all walks of life and ages on OPBR, on One Piece, from teens to the elderly. And along with playing this game, they'll of course join different communities, different discords, different servers, and interact with other players, you know, some of the same age, some of different ages, someone even younger even. It's nothing new, and it's just been like that for any sort of community, be it My Little Pony or anything else. And yes, I purposefully say My Little Pony. If you know, you know, but yeah. We know, as adults especially, we should know just to not say certain things around minors, like especially to minors. And we should know not to condone this under any sort of circumstances. You know, we should get rid of it right away. We should do all this stuff. At least, we should know this. Even when it doesn't come to minors. Just DMing a grown-ass woman, asking for 18 plus stuff in melons is just not okay by any stretch of the imagination. That's harassment. So, you know. And I have every right to call you out for it. You know, I don't care what anyone thinks about that. You think I should just keep it this on Discord? You think I should just move on from this? I'm not going to. I'm going to call it out and honestly call you a fucking creep for it. Because stuff like this should not be tolerated. But back to the main topic. This video is in response to a situation that happened in Micah OPBR's Discord server where a 14-year-old joined his server and a creep made an inappropriate comment toward her. She already said her age, and he replied with smash. Things escalated, and Micah made a video addressing this. Fire OPBR also made a video addressing this and spreading awareness on not only more info on what happened in the server, but exposing more creeps in Micah's server, and also some creepy, gross things Micah has stated himself. Micah made a 50-second apology video wanting to drop all of this and apologizing. I'm saying this all in air quotes because, well, it wasn't much of an apology. It was more of a, okay, I messed up. Now can we just drop it, please? Like, it really did feel like that to me. Not gonna lie, I am pretty biased in this, and considering the screenshots, especially shown by Fire OPBR, I think I have every right to be. I do want to keep myself calm throughout this video, at least as calm as possible. I don't want to crash out, I don't want to call anyone out their name, I just want to go by what is being addressed in this and try to talk about this. And I'm sure your attitude might be, okay, Amy, why even talk about this? This has nothing to do with you, right? You know? Even with the example you said before, that's a you thing, you know? Maybe you should address that stuff on your own, you know? This topic is just about two YouTubers and their drama and their beef, right? Well, no. This is way more than that. It's about how we address stuff like this so it doesn't escalate into things I've already seen in other communities. I've already seen minors getting harassed, minors getting full-on groomed, women being harassed, men being harassed. Unfortunately, creeps are nothing new on the internet, but we know they prey on the vulnerable, especially minors. I'm not saying this is happening in Micah's server, but these screenshots are just proof of how stuff like this starts. It all starts with inappropriate jokes to minors and then letting it slide. It all starts with just jokes like this in general, and letting it slide. It all starts with keeping these creeps on a platform so they can keep doing what they're doing and get worse. You know, I'll go on a bit of a tangent right now, but sort of, whatever happened to actually telling a joke? Whatever happened to actually being funny? Whatever happened to why the chicken crossed the road, or any of these sort of jokes, or just listening to any comedian who can make you laugh and telling similar jokes or even copying their jokes? Whatever happened to that? And even I know comedians do make some inappropriate jokes, you know, dark humor is a thing, but this is a gaming server. This is a gaming server for a game that has minors to the elderly playing it. Why in the fuck do we have stuff like this in any sort of Discord? In any sort of OPBR Discord? That's the point of the thumbnail I'm trying to make, sometime in Micah's original video, he does even ask, like, hey, is it even proof that that person is a minor? Which, thinking on it, it might be possible that that's not a minor. It could be just two grown men just making light of a situation that they shouldn't make light of. But my point isn't just about the minors here. It's just, why even make comments like that? Like, what's more important? Trying to be funny? Like, trying to get a rise out of people? Or just about OPBR? Just making sure we can make a community where we don't say shit like this at all. And if you want to be a creep, go be a creep somewhere else. There are 18 plus servers. I'm sure there are servers dedicated for creeps like this. Just go there. Like, why do you have to have shit on your profile like you're going to essay people, You're going to essay minors. How is this shit even okay? And I know I said I was trying to stay calm about all this, but I'm doing my best, but it's hard not to feel something about this. Especially when you've seen the damage that it can cause when you just sweep it under the rug. Or you do what Micah did in his original video, which was from the very start. You downplay it, you side with the creep, you get bitchy about people pinning you over something that actually is serious. You say my freedom of speech when stuff like this happens, and then you're wondering why people are calling you a pedophile. I'm not going to call you that, but judging by the screenshots, judging by what you've said, Micah, do you not understand that, of course, people are going to call you this, or even pedophile, like, sympathizer? This is what you've shown. This is exactly what you've shown. This isn't an accusation. This isn't me just trying to make drama or beef or anything. This is something you have done. This is something you have said on your own server. And, I'm sure some people will say, like, oh, Amy, you're making too big of a deal about this. And, if you're thinking about that right now, that's the problem, too, There are not enough people that are making a big deal about stuff like this. It's always swept under the rug and allowed to get worse. This is how grooming and other related topics happen. We don't take it seriously when it's initially addressed. Fact of the matter is, I could say whatever I want about this, but Micah should have kicked out any and all creeps in the server. Especially the creep who started all this. It's not an opinion, it's a fact. If you don't believe it's a fact, then maybe that's a you problem. Maybe you just don't care about minors. Maybe you just don't care about creating a community where we can all just simply belong and feel safe. But, as the owner of a Discord server, you have to hold some sort of accountability for what goes on and be responsible enough to handle it in a mature manner. We really just can't take situations like this so lightly, and as adults, we have the obligation to be mindful of what we're saying on these platforms with minors. I'm not saying we can't joke or play around at all, but we actually have to do that. We shouldn't be crossing lines like this and calling it a joke. And yes, I'm sure there are other things in the world that are more important than women being harassed on Discord, than minors possibly being groomed, than minors being harassed, than creeps on your server. By Micah's own logic, what happened to me was just free speech. This man was just joking. I should just let it go. Because apparently harassment of anyone is okay. This man was allowed to harass me in such a manner, and I'm a full-grown adult. What if he did this to a minor? What if he gained that minor's trust and did this? Imagine. I'm not saying he is doing this, but there's always that what if. No amount of apologies will make this okay. Do you think that you get to full on say stuff like this to a child face to face and then you could just go and say, oh, well, I apologize, No. People are gonna call you a creep and call you out on your behavior until you actually show with your actions that you're gonna change. You're sorry is not just excusing it as a joke. Okay, I'm gonna go on a tangent here with the you're sorry. Whether it's for Micah or for any of the creeps on his server that, the screenshots Fire OPBR has shown. Your sorry is simply not being a creep. Your sorry is not just excusing it as a joke. Your sorry is not saying creepy shit on a mobile game server and at least having the decency to take that somewhere else. Your sorry is getting the creeps off your server. Your sorry is not making a video defending a creep all the way through and then backpedaling, claiming you didn't defend the creep, and then complaining when people call you a pedophile. Well, again, I won't call you that, but you're more of an apologist at the very least, and you really only did that to yourself. Your sorry is apologizing to Fire OPBR and other people who have common sense to call this out when it happens, and not defend it with BS. Your sorry is not putting BS in your video that has nothing to do with the topic, and really it's all just deflection and trying to save your own skin. Your sorry is only worrying about yourself and not thinking about the people you have either harmed or potentially harmed with your inaction or the things you have said already, especially minors. And most importantly, your sorry is your actions going forward with this. That's all I really have to say about this. It's just, please, if you're listening to this, please don't take stuff like this so lightly. I've seen the damage this can do, and it's not pretty, it's not cute, it's not funny, it can cause unnecessary trauma and stress. Let's just address it right away. Call out those involved, hold them accountable, and keep being a positive and welcoming community for everyone. I really, truly wanted to see both sides in this, but I really can't. There are times when you just have to say, this isn't okay, no matter how you look at it. And this is just one of those things. Thank you so much for listening, and have a good day.